Tesla built its entire reputation on skipping middlemen. No handling, no salesperson circling around you in the parking lot. Just order online and pick it up. That's the whole pitch. Except in a handful of US states, the pitch is actually legal. You cannot legally buy a Tesla from Tesla, even though the Tesla is the one making it, selling it, and it is standing right in front of you. The reason traces back to a law the most people have never heard about. One written to protect small businesses that do not exist anymore. Let's unpack how that happened. Tesla isn't a one-off exception either. In nearly all US states, it is illegal for any car manufacturer to sell a car directly to the consumer. You are legally required to go through independent car dealership. Compare that to the rest of the world. In China, you can order BYD just the comfort of your home. In Japan, you can order a car directly from the manufacturer, and in you can order the color you want, the trim you want directly from the factory itself. America is the outlier. This isn't some obscure technicality. It shapes nearly every American pay for the car. To understand this, we have to go back over a century to the very company that started it. It was Ford. In the 1900s, Ford needed a way to move large volume of car without managing the local storefronts. Their solution was to hand the job to independent local dealers and focus on what it did best, which was manufacturing. For decades, it worked well. Ford and its rival grew up to a few handful dominant companies. They realized they had all the power they needed to dominate the small dealers, and they used it very efficiently. Ford would flood the dealership with more cars than they could actually sell. Dealers were pressurized to present the company propaganda into their own dealership. By the 90s, local dealers were deeply integrated into the communities, sponsoring the local teams, high school basketball tournament, and used that leverage to push a state protection for these small businesses. One by one, 50 states passed the law, which banned the manufacturer to own their own dealership or operating their own dealership. It worked. Manufacturer can no longer bully their own dealership. The problem solved, right? Not really. Here's a twist. Those laws were never expired, but the dealer they were built to protect quietly disappeared. Today, the giant dealership themselves is a Fortune 500 company. Can you believe that? They bought the local shop this law were designed to protect. There are now more massive dealership corporations than there are manufacturers. Same old law, but a far more powerful side benefiting from it. Let me give you guys a real life example. Suppose you walked into a dealership, or dealership for example in Colorado, but it is actually owned by Sonic Automotive, one of the Fortune 500 companies. The sticker price on that Audi Q3 was $48,170. It is actually $4,400 more than what dealer paid to the manufacturer. On the top of that, add a few $100 more on dealer handling fees. The paperwork that you never asked for. Then comes a finance officer, a specialized employee. Sometimes they earn more than $500,000 a year, a job that paid really well. Their job is to raise your interest rate and stake up extras, for example, extended warranties and gap insurance. By the time you walk off with your car from the dealership, that $44,000 car now costs $56,000. Multiply that number by millions of car sales across a year, and you can see the industry doesn't want that system to change. And one company decided to fight back, which was Tesla. Since it never used franchise dealer to begin with, Tesla argued state by state that it wasn't competing with any existing dealership, so the old law shouldn't apply to them. The results were messy. Tesla, for example, in Texas, Tesla could show off their car but never could sell them directly. In Colorado, the Tesla was kept on nearly one store for a decade. 2 decades of lawsuit and lobbying. Tesla could now sell to consumer directly, but not to all states. And the fight isn't over. In 2026, The Sonic Automotive we talked about at the beginning sued the Colorado government after it granted a dealership license to the EV newcomer. And here's the irony at the heart of all of this. The law were passed to protect the local dealers from bullied by the manufacturer, now being used by the leverage from the large dealership. One survey shows 70% of the people doesn't trust their own dealer about the price they project. And the Federal Sales Commission now are openly telling they favor direct to consumer sales as it reduces the car costing to the average middle class people. Our buyer from the example still doesn't know how much more they have paid to the dealer than the car actually cost. If you're watching this video until now, please do subscribe to the channel. We bring this type of business content every week and it will means a lot to me. Bye bye. See you guys on the next video.